So the ongoing crisis in the Labour Party has taken a new turn with the sack of Julius Abure, the erstwhile Labour Party chairman. So, but El-Rufai of Arise TV has responded to the Julius Abure faction concerning their disqualification of Peter Obi and other eminent leaders in the party, including Alex Oti of Abia State, who is the governorship, who is the governor of Abia State. So, what I would like you to hear what El-Rufai said in reaction to this concerning the removal of Peter Obi as the candidate of the Labour Party.
That politicians are all the same. They are working for their own selfish interests. If not for Peter, they are planning to remove him from Labour Party. Election are beginning to bring out their real character. Let me leave you with party crisis and why they are trying to remove Peter Obi because he refused to accept their guru attitude.
Presidential candidate of Labour Party in the last general election, Mr. Peter Obi, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, party's congresses and national convention within a period of 90 days. Letter 2024 and signed by Obi and Oti also informed the in the party member committee. In the letter, Obi and Oti, who convened the SEP in Umuahia, Abia State capital, where the committee was set up, stated, and I will quote, "You'll recall that Labour Party had a leadership crisis in June, settlement broke," end of quote. Obi, also senator and secretary, respectively, committee. All right, Reufia, a lot going on in different parties. Yesterday was the PDP that it said was no longer the opposition, was there. Part is.
I mean, what do you expect? I would like to ask, who knew that before said automatic ticket for B is now saying otherwise because things are not favoring him? And the reason for all of this is because OT are trying to say, okay, the stakeholders of the party, let's take over the party. They got a caretaker with each other. The first fight today is no longer a papa. Today, has become, that's what happens. See, it's a Labour Party. That they are never different. As long as they are the political, it's constantly about what they can give. See? Stand firm, important. That's how the cookie of many political parties crumble in this country. The fight with Nigerian owners of the party juicy. It's not easy to get silly with no Labour Party in the political sphere. That's how cookie crumbles.
All right.
Okay. The general 2023. Is it for Democrats? Lead Nigeria is a democracy. If they themselves do not have a major omission in, we have seen in the people's issue they have ruling progress, the same to the exit of that 2020 general party, particularly young people, a lot of hope. They thought that the party, but what have we seen since the coaches Abure, bet of division? It was Julius Abure. If you are not hearing that, you know, faction, that money has disappeared, that some Peter Obi has now act, you know, to talking about on Monday when there was a national NEC meeting, they call it, National Executive Committee meeting. Now, in Congress, I was held in India was illegal because according to the laws of the party, a governor cannot the laws of the place of the party, and that he cannot take decisions of the, in other words, Abure faction does not recognize Senator Nenadi Usman, person of the caretaker committee, who does me that was purported. Another that Julius said, presidential. He made automatically the candidate of the party that it will be open to all aspiring candidates for the position of Abia State. Is that elections are won on the platform of political parties, but our political underdeveloped. Because why? You can development a special purpose set up to help people achieve their personal objectives and interests continue. To help parties reject the to the other side. It will be executive that we have in our political parties. But the story is not a Labour Party. Like the political parties, see, NMPP, even the smaller ones, simply political. In us to democracy beyond the levels, ambition, and personal within the list.
Indeed, I mean, for me, this just clearly shows that our political structure as a nation is not where, after 24 years of uninterrupted, for a thriving democracy, we should have, or we must. And then, as has been only contest school parties in that sense. He is different from the established like the PDP. It was last elections was last driven, and the obedient is that then come to the equivalent from the party. And if you dig deep into it, at the end of the day, what the issue is, as with a lot of successful political parties in the past, is a matter of personal interest. And when success comes into, and of course that the party hasn't been run as it ought to be, citing the examples at ward level and Congress is held by the Julius Abure, the factional chairman Julius Abure. What for me is a challenge. It's time for us as a position was. They haven't gotten their house in order and see distractions to even take as opposition. What I say to cutting off your nose to spite your face. At the end of the day, there are parties with structures of the party as long as their interest isn't being served. And then comes in the theory around perhaps are there external influences driving this confusion and this destability in the party. These are some of the concerns, but I'm hoping that INEC as the regulatory body
party chart, there's no presidential P2B in Labour Party. And this video, this ID, that is in formal, which is already formal. Party chairman, still parading himself as a Labour Party chairman, is not recognized by INEC. INEC themselves sacked him. INEC has already sacked him. Any NEC meeting organized by this man is not valid. Any person, any both governor or any candidate this man put and now national man. While we obedient, this man really wipe it to election because you can see that this man is corrupt. He can do anything for power. He's a power monger. This man is not has already been sacked by Labour Party, by INEC themselves. By INEC themselves. And now, unless you take a step as a patriotic citizen and as a patriotic Labour Party member, saying that there's a certificate is P2B anymore for APC and is working for Tinubu. This video and this internet meeting organized by this already former Labour Party chairman, was made by TVC. TVC neck meeting. The step of obedience. Meanwhile, he's claiming that P2B is this and that analysis. He want to sack. If I let
chance are all the same. Their word for Peter only to remove him from labor. It's obvious that those people we put up and trust on during 2027 election, a lot of them are beginning to bring out their real character. Let me leave you to watch this video.
Last general election, Mr. Peter will be at to the national chair Kubu to notice Congress's convention within a period not exceeding 180 days. The letter dated September 6, 2024 and signed by Obi and Oti also informed the formally unveiled Obi and Oti convened the September 4 ex-holders meeting of the party in Umuahia, the Abia state capital, where the committee was set up, stated, and I will the end of INT 24 the 2022 chairman that Senator Nenadi Usman and Senator Darlington Nwokocha were appointed by the stakeholders meeting as chairman and secretary, respectively, of the parties. Was another opposition party is undergoing crisis to the chairman of INEC.
I mean, what do you success comes with the new Labour Party? The same Abure that before said it was automatic ticket for Obi is now saying otherwise because things are not favoring him. And the reason for all of this because Obi and say, okay, take chairman Nenadi Usman to be able to run the party. So Abure feels his grandpapa. That's what happens to our politics in this country. But you see, it's also reflective of the Labour Party. This was they are the political benefits, and it's constantly about what they can gain from the political party. Already a decimated Labour Party. Will it be time will tell? Importantly, political parties. They are not easy to get 6 million today. We know. So cookie crumbles.
all right.
Okay, the point that was made after, I think, was it the 2019 general elections or democracy that they want they themselves be a and this is a major party issues regarding internal democracy that they have in it. Also in the ruling All Progressives Congress, same drama in the new Nigerian to exit of the don't have Labour. Labour Party gave many Nigerians, particularly young people, a lot of hope. They thought, but what are the of division? You know, but of Abure that made this point on Monday. So Abure to the commission before and after the organized convention and congresses. But the division that Julius Abure was talking about on Monday when there was a national NEC meeting, they call it, National Executive Committee. In Abia, because according to the laws of the party, a governor Alex Oti, cannot, within the laws of the party, summon a congress of the party, and that he cannot take decisions on behalf of the executive of the party. In other words, the Julius Abure faction does not recognize Senator Nenadi Usman, you know, as automatic. Anybody, candidate party or governorship position, including the position of Governor Alex Oti of Abia State. So what we see here is a party that is in trouble. And the biggest problem that we face in Nigerian democracy is that elections are won on the platform of political parties. But are not political parties that are committed to change, progress, and development. They are special purpose vehicles that have been top to help people achieve their personal objectives for as long as personal interests continue to override national INEC. And on the other side, you know, what has been done by the Peter Obi, Alex Oti faction, as it will appear, but the story is not just about Labour Party. If you carry you know, you will find this for us to be able to consolidate democracy, for us to be able to level of and personal interest, which is what is on display.
Shows that our political structure as a nation is where we ought to. For a thriving democracy, we strong opposition established because and contest on the institution's strong political parties in that sense. A number of people thought the Labour Party is different or different from the establishment. The traditional parties like the APC, the PDP, was largely, the last elections was largely youth-driven, and the obedient fever caught fire the party. And if you do political parties in sort of personal interest, and when, you know, party currently has one governor, one sitting, the party hasn't been as it ought to toward and held Julius. Perhaps it's so that we can take away this grief from. We saw what in truth, a lot of times people just cross carpet, and at the end of the day, we don't even know places. It's not about ideology. Can serve interest institutions are as strong opposite government of the day, which can then enhance the political program and governance structure of Nigeria. That is the big challenge. As an opposition, you're not able to function as such. They are unable to on their role, opposition nose to spite your face. At the end of the day, there are parties within the party willing to destroy long as their interest isn't being served. And then comes in the theory and the stability in the party. These are some of the concerns, but I'm hoping that INEC, as the regulatory body in this sense, would at least bring some sense into this.
It seems like the crisis in Labour Party is really deeply getting worse as far as come for P2B in Labour Party. P2B can never under LSOT. Next meeting he just did today is followed by the next meeting that LSOT conducted last in Labour Party. According to the former Labour Party F. Sorita neck meeting valid. Any person, any candidate, this illegal. This he has come out there. He's of they appointed this lady Nenadi Usman as the new man. It's obvious that this man is really corrupt. I didn't know while we obedient didn't see the hand on the wall doing the fact also to the reason why last election because Monger INEC themselves. But INEC themselves. And now unless you take a step as a patriot presidential ticket. No presidential ticket is not reserved for P2B. This man is working for APC, and this neck me this already former TVC will be Tinubu station. Possible. TVC is the first station that carried this Labour Party. How possible? How did here? How did Labour Party and Obedient get here? TVC can Labour Party neck meeting. Make it make sense. It's obvious that Julius Abure is like secretly working for APC.